Hello, Super Saver. The debt ceiling, projected 10% T-bill yields, as well as CMBs, and even more CMBs, cash management bills. That's what I'll be talking about in today's video. And specifically, here are the questions that I'll be answering. 1. Who's projecting 10% T-bill yields, and how realistic is this? 2. Why have there been so many CMB auctions lately, and why even more may be coming our way? 3. How can you find CMB auctions on Fidelity and E-Trade? And 4. What's being auctioned off this week? As usual, here's our front of video disclaimer. For a detailed disclaimer, please refer to the end of this video. So, let's dive in now, folks. So, PIMCO Schneider says debt ceiling fear may push T-bill yields to 10%. PIMCO is a leading global investment manager headquartered in California that focuses on fixed income investments, and Jerome Schneider heads up short-term portfolio management at PIMCO. Fear is going to be exacerbated to the tune of hundreds of basis points, if not more, on T-bill yields, thinking of some yields in the excess of 7, 8, 9, 10%. Now, he does go on to say that this is not PIMCO's baseline expectation, but that the landscape right now in short-term land is really divergent. Some big words right there. I'll show you what he means when he says the landscape right now in short-term land is really divergent with our recent community poll. These were the answers I got at the time of this taping when I asked you, did you buy 4-week T-bills at auction this week? 36% said yes, to try and take advantage of the blip yields. That's what I call the higher than expected yields that recently peaked in the 6% range on the 4-week T-bill because of the prospect of a potential U.S. default. 10% said yes, but they usually buy 4-week T-bills anyway because it's part of their overall strategy. 42% said no because it's either not a part of their overall strategy or because they don't care about the blip yields. And 12% said other. Divergent indeed, Mr. Schneider. Honestly, when I read that PIMCO prediction, 10% seemed high to me. And I guess that's what the market is thinking as well, because this is where the 4-week T-bill ended up at the most recent auction. Yields are still a bit out of whack, but they have come down a bit from the near 6% level from the auction 2 weeks ago. Do keep in mind, though, that this latest 4-week T-bill auction also happened the day after somewhat positive headlines like this one about President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy making progress on debt ceiling negotiations. If an impasse does remain, however, and discussions don't keep progressing, I wouldn't be surprised to see continued volatility in the Treasury market. Now, I still believe, for the most part, that it is highly unlikely that our country will default. But for those of you who are interested in actionable steps that you can take with your treasuries, CDs, and money market funds during this debt ceiling crisis, and what actually happens when a country defaults, I invite you to join our Super Saver membership and check out our latest videos on the topic. Right, so the good news, at least for the nation's economy and finances, though not necessarily for the yield seekers among our Super Saver community, the good news about this week's auctions is that the yields on the 8 weeks seem to have normalized slightly from the previous week. And this here is where the 156-day CMB ended up. This CMB was also auctioned off on the same day as the 4-week and 8-week T-bills, which is a great segue into our latest CMB update. At the time of this taping, one CMB, cash management bill, was auctioned off about a week and a half ago. 2 were auctioned off last week, and another one is already on the schedule for this coming week. So what's the rush, Janet Yellen? Well, the Treasury needs money. And with the exception of this relatively short-term 21-day CMB that's scheduled for auction this coming Tuesday, May 23rd, the other CMBs that have been auctioned off this month have had longer maturities in the 5-month range. I suspect this is because the 5-month maturities mean that these CMBs will come due after the summer, when those debt ceiling and potential default discussions should be over and things should have normalized, which also means that the Treasury will most likely get better lower rates when they auction off those slightly longer duration CMBs and shouldn't have to pay that blip rate premium that they had to pay on the shorter term T-bills that will mature right in the presumed hot zone of our current debt ceiling fight. I mean, we may be dealing with different financial and economic problems after the summer, but let's cross that bridge when we get there. And besides the advantage in carrying potentially lower yields on those slightly longer duration CMBs, CMBs in general are attractive to Treasury Secretary Yellen because she has more flexibility in setting auction dates and maturities for CMBs than she has for T-bill auctions that are usually more rigidly scheduled and planned in advance. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more CMBs being scheduled more or less spontaneously over the next few weeks if the Treasury thinks that these instruments will help them to get money at relatively lower yields and help to bridge over the summer, where the debt ceiling fight will hopefully be resolved. We may also see more CMB issuances with odd maturities, such as 149, 154, and 156 days, which are real-life maturities from the last 3 CMB auctions in May, by the way. Although it's completely unclear to me why and how they pick these maturity numbers. Anyway, that's not to say that if debt ceiling conversations in Washington reach an impasse that we won't see cash management bills with different durations popping up on the auction schedule. In any case, given that there may be a few more CMB auctions in our near-term horizon, let's see how we can actually find the cash management bill that we want to buy at auction. One of the super savers in our membership community, Greg, pointed out that a lot of folks don't seem to know where or how to find cash management bills, CMBs, for purchase at auction. And indeed, the CMBs are not easy to find, and it seems that only 2 of the leading brokerage houses are currently offering them. So hopefully, this section will help some of you. Let's start with where to find the next upcoming CMB auctions, right here on Treasury Direct's upcoming auctions page. And when you scroll down and see a cash management bill like this one here and want to buy it at auction, I'll show you in this section step by step how you can then find it on Fidelity and E-Trade. And because I know these 2 questions will come up, I will address them now. 1, cash management bills are not available for purchase on Treasury Direct. And to the best of our knowledge, Fidelity and E-Trade are the only 2 of the leading brokerage firms that do offer CMBs for purchase at auction to retail investors. 2, the cash management bill I'll be using for this tutorial has already been auctioned off by the time you watch this video. As you can see, the auction date here for this CMB that I'll be using for this tutorial has already passed. So if you do manage to find a bill with this CUSIP on your brokerage platform after watching this video, it's because this CMB is now trading on the secondary market. Right, so back to how to find a cash management bill on Fidelity and E-Trade the next time you see one on Treasury Direct's upcoming auctions page, like this one. And you can tell it's a CMB because of the yes in this CMB column. First, click on this CUSIP here on the Treasury Direct site. That will take you to this auction search screen. Scroll down the page, and here you'll find the maturity date for the CMB. Make a note of the CUSIP and the maturity date. Now, log into your Fidelity account. And from the account screen, click on News and Research. And from the pull-down menu, select Fixed Income, Bonds, and CDs. That will take you to this Fixed Income, Bonds, and CD screen. Scroll down and click on Bonds. And from the screen that pops up next, click on Auction under the U.S. Treasury tab. And here's a new box. Yes, new boxes on screens that I go to a lot give my day a little bit of excitement. And this new box basically tells us that for new issue Treasury bills, we can place our orders up to 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the auction date. And for new issue Treasury notes and bonds, here are the cutoff times for placing your order on the auction date. Right, so let's scroll down now. And we can see that there are 3 bills here that say 0 coupon at the end of all 3. Fidelity refers to T-bills and CMBs as 0 coupons because, well, they don't pay a stated coupon like Treasury notes and bonds. Rather, the interest earned on T-bills and CMBs is simply the face value or par value of the bill minus the purchase price of the bill. If this is new to you, then take a look at this T-bills 101 video for more details. The same pricing and interest mechanism applies to CMBs. I've linked it in the description below as well. Now, remember this maturity date from the CMB that we wrote down a little while ago? Well, all we need to do now is match that maturity date of October 26, 2023 to the maturity date here, which means this United States Treasury bill 0 coupon is this 156-day CMB from Treasury Direct. And to be 100% certain, let's click on this bill and double check that the QSIP here matches the QSIP from this CMB on Treasury Direct's website. It does. So all we need to do now is click buy, assuming that that's what we want to do. So, E-Trade next. Here I am on my E-Trade account summary page. I'll click on trading up here, and from the pull down menu, I'll select bonds and CDs. There seems to be a new bond user agreement. I'll read through everything, then I'll scroll down and finish up, and when I'm done, I'll check this box to confirm that I've read and agreed to E-Trade's Bond Resource Center user agreement. Then I'll click accept and continue. And from this screen that pops up, I'll click on Enter Bond Resource Center. This Bond Resource Center page will now appear. I'll click on Advanced Screener. And on the Advanced Screener page that appears next, I'll select Treasury Auctions. And here are all the treasuries that are currently available for purchase at auction, including any cash management bills, which are clearly noted. Right. So what's being auctioned off this coming week? Here's where things currently stand on Treasury Direct's upcoming auctions page. I've included the link to the auction schedule in the description below. This is the only cash management bill that's listed on there so far. For this 21-day CMB, here's the expected yield that's listed on Fidelity at the time of this taping. This expected yield can and usually does change up until the auction date itself based on investor sentiment and market expectations. We're actually considering putting some cash into the 21-day CMB given how the yield looks right now. What about you? What are you buying this coming week? If anything, leave us a comment below and let me and the community know. All right, Super Saver, for those of you who want to take a deeper dive into our latest members-only videos, check out our channel page or the joint link in the video description below for more details. And if you're a Super Saver member already, then make sure you didn't miss this latest one in the member zone. And as always, if you enjoyed today's video and learned something new, don't forget to share with those you care about, and of course to hit that thumbs up, and see you again very soon with more brand new wealth building content for your financial journey.